Ladies, gentlemen, and wombats, welcome to the channel, welcome to Wombat Weightlifting, and yes, I am speaking English. I don't want to make the video longer than it needs to be. It's already 2 weeks of training condensed into the one video, so it will be a fairly long video. So throughout the video, I will be explaining as to why I've chosen to switch from Spanish to English. But in order to not make the video longer than it needs to be, like I said, I hope that you enjoy my suffering. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you there. So why English? As most of you know, those closest to me would know, I lived in Australia for about 17 years, and I've been living here in Mexico for the last 3. Obviously, 17 years compared to 3, that's a whole lot more of experience and just knowledge, yeah? For me, for example, when I'm trying to explain to you guys, especially this sport, it's very technical. So obviously there's going to be a lot of terms and instances where I want to do my best job at explaining what I'm doing or what I'm thinking of doing. But because of my time in Australia, all my thoughts, all my thinking processes, they're in English. And when I try and translate those into Spanish, sometimes they don't come out as clean as I would want them to. And I've also realized, I've noticed that in some of my videos, I just ramble on. I just talk about the same thing, just word it differently. As some would say, same shit, different smell. But I don't want to do that. I want to bring you guys like a high quality content, as well as like information that you guys can take with you and say, oh, okay, if I do this, I'm going to get better doing this, stuff like that. So that's the main reason as to why I decided to switch to English. Just making it the whole, I guess, technicalities easier for me to explain them, to explain the processes going through, how I'm feeling throughout the week, what I'm trying to focus on each rep, stuff like that is just a lot simpler for me in English. The second reason, and this one isn't as big as the first one, isn't as influential as the first one, but in terms of growth for me, in terms of growth for the channel, in terms of growth for me as an athlete, I do want to start doing collaborations. I do want to start filming with other weightlifters. I remember one of my goals starting this whole series, starting this whole channel. I think I edited it out, but I remember it clearly. One of my goals was to eventually, if possible, once I start lifting enough to be relatively at that level, let's say, to do collaborations with other weightlifters, for example, like Clarence Kennedy. He's huge for the weightlifting community. Those are weightlifting. He's also a huge figure in this sport when it comes to like weightlifting influences. And obviously, amongst others, that was one of my goals. And in my head, my thinking process is, okay, if I want to target that, if I want to be there, then I need to push myself, or I need to like get closer to what they're doing. And obviously their channels are in English. That doesn't mean that I'm going to forget about the community that I've built, that I'm building here in Mexico. Obviously, I still can handle Spanish fairly well. So if you guys have any feedback, recommendations, to be like, hey, you know what, maybe just put subtitles in Spanish for us, or maybe just upload 2 separate videos, I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah, those are the 2 decisions, the 2 factors, that influenced this decision to make it to switch the channel from Spanish to English. It's basically all got to do with just giving you guys the best quality content that I can with the knowledge that I have, and also just for growth in the future. Obviously, I'm very happy to do collabs with other Latin American weightlifters. Again, when I get to like a decent level, because I'm still very, very far away from what other people are lifting. I don't see myself, although I do think I am somewhat knowledgeable in this sport, I don't see myself anywhere near some of these other people like that have been doing this sport a lot longer than I have, or anything like that. And yeah, I hope you guys understand the decision. Like I said, I'm open to feedback, and I want to hear from you guys as well. I've talked a lot already, not even about weightlifting, but we're on to Thursday. This was not last week, the week before of me training. I remember going into this Thursday session. I skipped the Wednesday session for the Thursday. I said to my coach, hey, you know what? I'm feeling pretty sore from my knees. My knees are swollen. So can I switch the Thursday for the Wednesday? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So Wednesday was just mobility and just a little bit of rehab work. And then Thursday I worked on this. It was 4 sets of 2, I believe, of some heavy, literally just said heavy, muscle snatches. And it was like, didn't specify the weight, just said heavy. I was like, okay, well, I'll try with 81 kilos here. And yeah, they felt heavy. The first set moved pretty easily, but from then on, like, I started feeling the weight. I don't know if it was like fatigue or just overconfidence, but as you guys can see, final set, I failed. So I think I hit the mark of heavy. And yeah, failed twice. I said, okay, I'll just rest a little bit and we'll go for it again. So that was the first one. Can't really complain about people moving forward or crossing the camera. Like, it's a public gym, so can't say anything about that. At least the 2 lifts, you guys could see the 2 lifts. And then I moved on to max in push press. This is the first time in a very, very, very long time that I'm maxing out my push press. I was actually thinking, and I was going through my exercises. I was like, I haven't done a max in just specific work in a long, long time. There I kind of got scared. Don't know why. I was like, okay. Yeah, I just got a little bit scared of the weight, I guess. I said, like, nah, you can't be a bitch. Move it. So I bumped up the weight a little bit, just 2 kilos, 122 kilos, I think it was. I was like, that moved fairly easily. So then I put on the 10 pounds on each side. This is 129 kilos. That was almost there. I just, loosened the core, failed there. Went for the last one. There, my knees buckled. I was very upset with that. But, so that was 129 push press. Going back to what I was saying, I haven't maxed out like a lot of exercises in a while. Before, when I was living in Merida, I would max out like here and there, like once or twice a week. Not even counting the Olympic day or the Friday, the max out Fridays. I'd have like a max out here, I'd have a max out there. And I'm assuming that's just mainly got to do with like the change in programs. Like I was starting off, and my coach obviously just wanted to see where I was at. So obviously he would program a lot more max out type of sessions, obviously to see where my limits were and what my weak points were and where my strong points are. Obviously that's changed a lot, but I kind of miss that, you know. I miss just putting weight on a bar and just seeing how much you can push it, literally. There was 88 kilos, 70%. This is the Friday session now. I sent a message to my coach. I was like, "Hey man, I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my soul. I feel it everywhere. I reckon I can hit 130 this week." And he's like, "Alrighty, if you're so confident, go for it." I actually wasn't programmed to hit this. It was going to be a different Friday type of session, but I was like, "Nah, come on, let me." And karma got me. Like 3 weeks ago on the Max Out Friday, I almost hit 127, which is the weight I'm lifting now. And that kind of like left me a little bit like sore in the ass. And I was like, nah, I got to be able to lift this. So that's why I was like, oh, come on, let me lift 130. Let me lift 130. And as you guys can see, I'm just missing. I hit 120, didn't hit that. Went up to 127, missed that, and now this is the 131 that I was like so stubbornly looking for, and I've missed more than I should have. Probably should have called it quits there, but as you guys know, I'm a very stubborn motherfucker, and honestly, like, yeah, what can I say? There, I was like, I almost had it, just gotta pull more, and it was like little attempts like those where I just felt the weight almost there. I was like, come on, you got one more, you got one more, you got one more. And in a way, like, my train of thought is like, yes, it's good to just continue pushing it, because obviously you get, although they're not successful reps, it's just stress, it's volume that you're building with a weight that you've never touched before. Obviously, I don't recommend this for everyone or anyone. Like I said, I'm very stubborn. But like, it's just in a way also building confidence. Don't recommend it. There's obviously other ways of building confidence, but it was just one of those days where I was just like hitting my head against the wall and hoping that I get through eventually. And no, the bar went through me there, as you guys can see. We moved on to the Monday of this actual week of training now. The reason I didn't post that video the week before is we were celebrating my grandpa's birthday, so the whole weekend we were pretty busy. But yeah, moved on to the Monday session, and here I came back to the gym like a dog with its tail between its legs. I was like pretty embarrassed. I didn't even finish the session. I think I just mentally shut down. I was like, oh, fuck this, you know. I also looked at time. It was like 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. I was like, fuck, I got to max out the clean and jerk now. And yeah, I think I just called it quits after that. Mentally, I wasn't there. So coming back on the Monday, I was like, okay, new week, just try to reset. Focus on the little things that you know have been impacting your lifting in a positive way. The biggest one, like I've been saying for the past, I think like 2 months now, is just pulling that bar and keeping it close. I feel like I am getting better with those, with that instruction. Like, I feel like the bar is staying closer to my body, and I am definitely entering a lot quicker. It's just it's not instinct yet, you know. So I still have to consciously think of it, especially hitting those percentages above 85%. But yeah, definitely was happy with those reps for the snatch. I think about like 3 weeks ago, I had the same exercise and I failed on the last lift. This week, much smoother, a lot easier. And I just mentally, I felt like I just had to focus this week, because I was like, okay, like you had that accident on Friday. Just try and work on the little things as much as you can so that you can get ready for the Friday session, which didn't even happen, but I'll explain why. Here we're just finishing the Monday session with, well, this is the weightlifting portion of the Monday session. Finishing it off with some cleans, deficit cleans, sorry. And same as always, just keeping the bar close. And yeah, finished with some deadlifts, which I honestly, I hate. Out of the 3 big lifts, bench press, this was like 202 kilos, my PR, all-time PR. I hit it again. I was like, oh, maybe we can hit 210. Didn't hit it. But out of the 3 lifts, like bench press, squat, and deadlift, I feel like I'm just ass at deadlift, honestly. Not a huge fan of it. And it left me super sore for this next few couple days, which I think is what kind of like ruined my week in a way. But it's also good to be training under stress. That was 106 kilos hang snatch, which is like 85%. This is a 90%, 113 kilos. This is a weight that I'm seeing more and more often, and I'm happy that I'm just getting more and more reps with this weight. It's just generating more volume, more confidence with higher weights, and I'm getting slowly, both with the clean and jerk and the snatch, I'm getting more and more comfortable with those 90% lifts. Here I had to fight a lot. It wasn't a smooth snatch. I entered and yeah, I turned into a bit of a helicopter, but managed to fight the weight, stabilize, and then went up. My coach would have been proud with that patience, but obviously not ideal. Like, you want to enter smoothly and then come up smoothly. That was just a bit of fatigue. again, my lower back was very, very sore from the Monday session, the deadlift especially. But yeah, here we have some clean and jerks, and we also built up to 90%. I remember I messaged my coach on this Tuesday in the morning when I was at work, and I said to him, "Hey, if I have that Olympic session, like the Olympic day where it's just snatching clean and jerk, can I maybe try and hit 120 or 145? And he was like, yeah, go for it if you want. But honestly, I felt like shit. So I respected the weights that day. And it wasn't one of those days like, oh, let's see what happens. Nah, I respected the day and the percentages, and I stuck to them. This is Wednesday. Start off with some heavy-ish front squats, 85%. And by this point in the week, like, I was just physically done. I was very, very tired, and every single kilo, like, I felt. It wasn't like one of those other days where like you lift 85% and or even 90%, like, ooh, that felt easy. No, like this felt like the weight it was meant to be, some even heavier than what it was meant to be. I felt like I was really struggling to keep my position. That first rep felt good, I remember, but then the second one, I just felt like my waist just buckle and just start like rotating inwards, which isn't ideal, obviously. But yeah, I said, okay, let's just move on, get on with it. This session annoyed me a lot as well because it was 2 hang snatches back to back. The day before it was hang snatch, and then this one was hang power. What did help was it wasn't as heavy, the percentage wasn't as high, but still, like, my thumbs were screaming at this point of the week. And yeah, as you guys know, I hate powers. I just don't understand them. I struggle to, I don't know, just like stop the weight, if that's what I'm like, if you guys understand that. I've always had this problem, like I'm very explosive, and I find it very easy to just reach the bottom, but like stopping the weight, breaking and just stopping at that 90 degrees, like I struggle a lot with that. I've been getting better with my power cleans. Before this weight, I remember would just like squash me and just push me down to those 90. I'm obviously catching that a lot higher now, which is good. But yeah, like in general, just power snatch, power clean. It's one of those exercises for me that just mentally I struggle to understand. So if anyone watching this video that is experienced enough with weightlifting, can give me some tips to better my power snatches and power clean, I would really appreciate that, because it's obviously an important part of weightlifting, and it's obviously a drill that I see almost weekly, so it's also another way of increasing strength. So yeah, if you guys can give me some tips on how to increase or better my powers, please leave a comment. And now this is the Thursday max out session a couple days ago. It's a long weekend down here in Mexico, so obviously I wasn't able to train Friday afternoon. So my coach was like, all right, we'll just push the max out session a little bit earlier, which in of itself is also good. Like, I got to be able to lift and hit big weights regardless of the day. Like, I can't just reserve myself for Fridays. Sometimes it's going to be a Tuesday, sometimes it's going to be a Wednesday, sometimes it's going to be a Saturday. And mentally, I got to be able to just prepare myself for that, you know? Yeah, managed to, obviously no PRs. Haven't hit a PR in quite a bit now. I think like a month and a half now. The last good lift was 113 kilos, again 90%. I tried 120, which is like 95%. Here I had like the weight go backwards twice, which in my head is like, go up. Obviously I haven't learnt my lesson from when the bar hit my head, but honestly, again, like, you can't enter this sport with fear. Like, the moment you doubt yourself, you're gonna hurt yourself. So I was like, just go for it, man. Like, just go for it. And yeah, called it a day there, I think. Yeah, for the snatches, finished with 90%. And then I moved on to these clean and jerks. here I managed to hit a slightly higher percentage, worked my way up to 95%. And if you guys have been keeping up with my YouTube shorts and my TikToks and other social medias, I'm getting more and more confident with those higher percentage lifts. Definitely feeling the volume. I feel like this week I hit that adaptation week. I think, if I'm not mistaken, my coach and I are running a 4-week cycle where we push 3 weeks and then we have a slight deload on week 4. I lost track of that, but I believe this was the 4th week. I just felt so fatigued. I felt everything just heavier than usual. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a part of training. Your body has to undergo this process. I just hate it. I just hate it. I've always said that I was born to max out daily, but I'm forced to progressively overload. I'm sure a lot of weightlifters feel exactly the same way. That was a horrible, horrible clean. I had no patience. I just wanted to get up. But yeah, that's 90%. Just seeing that more and more, like getting comfortable with that weight. Sometimes just a bit too comfortable, as you can see. And this was the last lift. Kind of squashed me, the 143 kilos. But I think this was also a press out, small press out. But yeah, 315 pounds, getting easier. Seeing it more and more weekly. And yeah, it's just a process of building confidence, building strength through repetition. I think I've been doing the same workouts for the past, again, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I think. I can almost tell what's coming, like what day is which day now. But it's part of, like, this sport is very, very repetitive. Not just in terms of, like, the movements that you see daily. Like, it's literally just snatch, and clean and jerk. You see those 2 movements daily, every single day for your week of training, whether that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 8, whatever many days. And then, then you expand that over a block, and it's very, very repetitive. And then obviously the actual movement itself, you just clean and jerk. You just snatch. There's no difference. But yeah, it's just getting used to it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Obviously, I did ramble on a lot at the beginning, explaining as to why I've switched to English. Hopefully you guys like it. I hope you guys understand the reasoning. And going forward, I do hope to bring out, yes, entertaining videos, but also informative videos where you guys can actually pull information and be like, oh, okay, like if I start doing that, this is going to improve in my lift. Or don't do that. Don't do 15 lifts like Alejandro did with 130 kilos. But yeah, that's my main goal with this channel. It has always been that from the beginning, to, yes, entertain, but also to give good, not just good, but give like high quality information. And hopefully with that, with the entertainment and the information, I can, pass on that love and this passion that I have for this sport onto you guys. But this video has been very long. I'm going to shut up now. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed my suffering. There was quite a bit, as you guys can see. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week, next Saturday, for the summary of this next block of training that's coming up. If you guys deem me worthy enough, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I really appreciate that. Till then, I'll see you guys next week.